Well, hi everyone, my name is Kevin McGowan. I'm the pastor of Regeneration Church, and today we're going to talk about how you can be happy. Well, thank you for jumping in with me today on this video. As we start this discussion, let me say that this channel is not intended to take the place of professional counseling. If you are depressed or in need of direction beyond what a few minutes on YouTube can provide, then please go talk to a licensed therapist. I have benefited greatly from my own time with a counselor, and if you are stuck, then perhaps you could benefit too. I am not a licensed therapist, just a person sharing his thoughts and opinions on various subjects, and in no way should this video be misconstrued as professional counseling or advice. Well, that said, let's talk about what makes us happy and how can you be happy? It is no surprise that people everywhere want to be happy, but it's not uncommon for people to feel like that happiness is elusive. We talk about what makes us happy. We want to hang around with people who make us happy. Even as an American, it is written in our Bill of Rights that we have the right of the pursuit of happiness. But are most people happy? You look at the world around us, or the news headlines, or God forbid, listen to political discussions, and it does not seem like there's a whole lot of people who are happy. Does God want us to be happy? Well, what are we missing here? Why aren't more people happy? Well, I'd like to lead us in a discussion about how we can be happy, and which means I welcome your thoughts in the comments, but as always, when we're putting in comments, let's keep everything, the discussion, let's keep it civil. I'm going to post several videos as we press into this subject, but I also want to keep these videos brief, so I'm not going to cover everything all at once. For starters, today I think we should get a good grasp on what happiness really is. You need to understand that happiness isn't a permanent state of being. As defined, happiness is a state of well-being or contentment. It's a sense of good pleasure or satisfaction, but it is not permanent. We all have good days and bad days. We have happy moments and sad moments, ups and downs, and you know what? A lot of neutral feelings in between. The Bible tells us that there's a time to laugh and a time to cry. God does not want us to live on the mountaintop any more than we can live in the valley. The best analogy I can come up with is that happiness is like hunger. When I have eaten, I'm satisfied. But I can't continually eat all the time and never be hungry. Sure, we've all hit the buffet, but we don't want to live there. Now we get hungry and then eat and are satisfied, and we eventually we'll get hungry again. Happiness is no different. You can have a prolonged sense of well-being, absolutely, but a euphoric state of happiness is hard to maintain, and honestly, it's impossible. So let's grab hold of proper expectations today. Nothing you can do will keep you happy all the time. It's okay to not always be happy. But what we'd like to figure out is how not to go hungry for too long. Just like your body needs food to be satisfied, your brain or your heart, your soul, whatever you want to say, your inner self needs the right things to bring about satisfaction. Our quality of life is often dictated on how often we can find those happy moments. Those moments where we are filled or fulfilled. And if too much time passes between those moments, we can feel empty. Happiness often comes about through external circumstances or through internal intrinsic values. I came across a lady with a new puppy while I was on my walk the other day, and she let me pet her dog. It was a happy moment brought about by an external circumstance. I mean, who doesn't like puppies? Other external circumstances could be like hearing from an old friend who thought about you and reached out because they wanted to reconnect, or just going to a party or a place where you can hang out with your friends, or putting on a coat from last winter and finding 20 bucks in the pocket. I love that. Those are moments of very little effort on our part, and they don't last long. Happiness can also come into our lives through internal value systems. I recently finished a project that took an inordinate amount of time, and I was really happy when I got that done. You know, I believe that when the Bible speaks of our joy and happiness, it's referring to an inner satisfaction that comes through our faith and God's interaction in our lives. This is how we can have joy even in the tough times. We go through a tough time and God intervenes and brings about something good in our lives. That leads to happiness and satisfaction. And we have to trust that He's going to do so. Well, here's the main thought of this video. Beware the counterfeit sources of happiness. There are literally millions of things in this world that when you pursue them, they can make you happy, but many of them will leave you empty and ultimately unsatisfied. What do I mean? Well, let me go back to my hunger analogy. What if every time you got hungry, you only ate dessert? Now, I love dessert. I don't know a dessert I would turn my nose up to. Except maybe flan. I don't want congealed mucus for dessert, but still, I love me some dessert. But here's the thing. If all I ever ate was dessert when I got hungry, I would not be very healthy. In fact, I would probably stop being fulfilled or satisfied by dessert in very little time. So as we try to be happy, we often just run straight to the desserts or call it empty calories, and we don't go to the real meals. For example, buying something new is like dessert. It brings us happiness. It's true. When you buy something new, whether it's new shoes, a purse, a car, a collectible you've been chasing, a new phone, a big screen TV, whatever, it will make you happy, 100%. It's fun to get something new, especially if you've worked hard for it. But those feelings of happiness are empty calories. They're like dessert. They don't last very long. They're fleeting. After you've worn that new shirt or shoes, once it stops being new, whatever that thing is, it no longer satisfies. And there are people, honestly, in this world with tons of clothes, closets full of shoes, big houses, lots of gadgets, but they are not happy. The Bible tells us in Psalm 16:11, it says, "You," that's speaking of God, "you, God, make known the path of life, and in your presence there is fullness of joy. At your right hand are pleasures forevermore." Obviously, God doesn't want us to settle for counterfeits or the empty calories, but to find our happiness in Him because it lasts. And you know what? If buying something is the only way you're finding happiness, then you know what you're going to feel like doing tomorrow? You're going to feel like buying something else so you can be happy. And you'll say cute things like retail therapy, but in reality, you're trying to fill the emptiness or the hunger with something that ultimately has stopped satisfying you. But you know what? You'll keep buying things and hoping you'll get that same good feeling because you got it before, but it's there for a moment and it's gone, and you'll wonder why you're not happy. It's like eating dessert all the time and wondering why you feel sick. Now, there's nothing wrong with dessert, and there's nothing wrong with buying something new, but it should not be your only means to happiness. And there are many counterfeits. Buying things is just one, but food is another, and that's a pretty obvious one. Hey, I feel unhappy, so I'm going to eat. I'm eating my feelings. Probably not the healthiest path toward happiness. Social media likes, that's another one that's empty calories. And this is coming from someone who really wants you to like his stuff. But needing hundreds or thousands of strangers to approve your pictures or videos, it's a rush, but almost always leaves you wanting more. It doesn't last. And here's where the pursuit of happiness gets even more slippery. If you're chasing happiness through these counterfeits or empty calories, but what you really find is you're finding emptiness. And so eventually you just start hoping for numbness. Hey, it hurts to feel, so maybe I could just not feel altogether. And there are many escaping behaviors like getting stoned, getting drunk, being reckless, dangerous, all kinds of addictions, movies, porn, unhealthy relationships, even moving to a new place can be a form of escape. But hey, I'm not here to just describe the water to a drowning person. I'm here to help you understand how you can be happy. So I've got 5 things that you can begin doing and 5 things you can stop doing that will start to bring about happiness and satisfaction in your life. That's 5 things that contribute to your satisfaction and 5 things that if you leave those alone, they're not going to add to your emptiness. I'm going to continue to post videos, but I want to keep things short, so let's start the discussion. And speaking of discussion, let me know your thoughts. Put a note in the comments. Do you agree or disagree? What counterfeits or empty calories have you witnessed or pursued? Let me know and we can talk it out. But remember, just keep it civil and keep it kind. Also, go ahead and subscribe so you won't miss the next video. Hit the bell and the like buttons while you're at it. And thank you so much for watching.